In a world where food is not just a necessity but an entertainment, one woman stands out with her extraordinary ability to take on some of the biggest eating challenges I've seen and you'll probably ever see. Meet Katina Eats Kilos.
What is up, Kilo Crew, and welcome to today's video. Alright, Kilo Crew, so I have made it here today, Kilo Crew, and welcome to today's video. What is up, Kilo Crew, and welcome to today's video. I'm about to take on a 4-pound breakfast burrito called the Wonder Joint. The salad is the hard part.
Today we're going to dive into how she balances her unique career and stays so slim. Now, if you haven't watched any of her YouTube videos, I've popped a link in the descriptions to her channel. Now, for somebody that didn't used to watch competitive eating, I have to say it's very addictive, especially with someone so small who can, well, just take a look at this and put in the comments whether you think you could manage that whole plate and if you think that Katina does finish the whole plate, and I'll tell you at the end if she manages it.
As you can see in front of me, I have way too much food for one human to consume, but I'm gonna give it one heck of a shot.
But before we dive deeper into how she stays so slim, I need to show you something. So come with me, I need to find a whiteboard. A common misunderstanding between many people is that most of our calories are burnt from doing exercise, when actually that's not the case. We need a decent tripod in it. So what we're going to go and do now is we're going to go and get a whiteboard. Holy moly. Right, let's try this again. Quick pit stop to get, well, a camera that can be mounted and mounted in a way that you cannot see the terrible state of my car. What's the state of your car? I think if people see the state of this, well, maybe I'll show you at the end. Maybe people may unsubscribe. Right, let's go. Ooh, lorry. Bin man. They don't care, do they? They don't care. What's he gonna do? Yeah. We'll get out in a minute. Dennis. Anyway, one thing I have realised is that getting a whiteboard is expensive unless you buy it off Amazon, and you can't pick it up the same day from Amazon. And getting this mount has completely wiped out my budget for the whiteboard. So what I'm going to do is think of another way of showing you how. Hold on a minute. Can't multitask, I'm a man. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find another way to show you what I wanted to tell you before we get into how Katina stays so lean. Okay, so I haven't got a whiteboard, but I don't know why I didn't think of this before. Use my iPad and my pencil. So let me explain the Total Daily Energy Expenditure, because it's really important that you understand where your calories are used up by your body on a daily basis. Now, the percentages that I give can vary slightly, but not by a lot. And it all depends on each individual, but understanding this will make you realise that actually exercise, or purposeful exercise, isn't what the secret is to burning more calories. So let's draw this here. Excuse my drawing capabilities. Right, so we're going to break this down. So what we have here is something called our BMR. So that's our basal metabolic rate, or our resting metabolic rate, our RMR. And that's about 70% of our calories. And what is that? So that is essentially just us breathing, our heart pumping, just being alive. We burn 70% of our calories just by being alive. So if you were to lay in bed all day, you'd be burning 70% of your calories, potentially, give or take. And then we've got our NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And this is between sort of 15 and 20% of our overall calories. So non-exercise activity thermogenesis, that is when we walk to our car to get to work, when we commute to work and we have to travel from the tube to where we're going to work. When we're fidget, so some people fidget more than others and you're burning more calories by being more fidgety. When you walk around the supermarket. So this is an area that you can really influence and improve the amount of calories you burn by getting out for a few extra walks, parking further away, taking stairs instead of the elevator. Lots of different ways to increase your NEAT. And this is your TEF. This is the thermic effect of food. And that's roughly around 10%. So what does that mean? That's the calories that we burn digesting and processing the food through our body. Now, this is an important one to understand because protein burns more calories digesting that than carbohydrates and fats do. So if you were to eat 100 calories of protein, around 20 to 30% of that, so 20 to 30 calories of that 100 will be burnt just by digesting that protein. Whereas carbohydrates is between 5 and 10%, so for every 100 calories of carbohydrates, only 5 or 10 calories are burnt. And fats are as low as 3%, so 3 calories per 100 calories. And then the last one, oh, what's going on? Put the rubber on, is EAT, which is exercise activity thermogenesis, and that is our purposeful exercise, and that only equates to 5% of our overall calories burnt. Now, I know this doesn't add up exactly to 100, depending on how you look at it, and that's because there's some variations in there. So your BMR could be anywhere actually between 60 and 70%. Your NEAT could be higher if you're somebody that walks around a little bit more. The purpose of understanding this is that actually our exercise plays a very small role in the overall calories that we burn on a daily basis. So if you want to improve your total calories burnt, do simple things that are going to have a bigger impact, which is eat more protein, walk further away or park further away when you go to the supermarket or to work, make conscious effort to get up and move around every hour. Those sort of things will make a big change to your calories that you burn, and that will help you with any kind of weight loss that you're trying to achieve. Right, back to Katina managing her diet, which is a big part of how she stays so slim. Now, while I don't have her exact diet, here is a snippet of what I found her talking about, what she does in the run-up to her competitions.
Katina, how do you maintain your physique while going out and eating crazy amounts of food, doing food challenges, restaurant challenges, etc.? And really it all starts in the kitchen. What I have in front of me is about 2¼ pounds of salad. It's rich in protein, really good macros. Basically, I'm eating this entire meal for roughly 1,000 calories. Now, everything that's in the salad bowl right now, I think cost me less than $4 to make this massive salad that's gonna keep me full pretty much all day. The key to all of my success in keeping the weight off when I'm not doing a food challenge is managing my diet, having self-control, knowing what the power of calories in versus calories out is. And I've talked about this many times in the past. I am taking basically a giant weekly average of all the calories I consume.
She focuses on nutrient-dense foods that are high in protein and low in calories. Hold on a minute. Is it harder for women to lose weight than men? Well, technically, yes, it is, because women are smaller than men, so burning calories can take longer. Now, for example, a 90 kilogram man will burn more calories than a 60 kilogram woman. Now, why is that? Because they have to move the extra weight around, which means that we have to use more energy. Now, before I get any comment attacks, it's important to know that whilst physiological differences can have an impact on our metabolism, it is also influenced by individual factors like our body composition, our age, and our current activity levels. Anyway, let's get back to it. For competitive eaters, understanding their total daily energy expenditure and managing their diet accordingly is essential. It allows them to indulge in large quantities during their competitions whilst maintaining a balanced diet that keeps their body in shape. Now, this same approach can be used for you at the weekends, because many dieters will do well from Monday to Thursday and then overconsume Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, let's get some Lego out and I'll explain how this one works. Right, let's say that we know that 2,000 calories per day is what we need to lose a pound of body fat or half a pound of body fat per week. And we split that over 7 days of the week. Now what normally happens is that people are great for 4 days of the week. Come Friday, they end up eating loads for each of those 3 days, which then will undo all that weight loss progress that you made in the first 4 days. So what we would do, this is the principles that Katina takes, is that we use some of those calories that we will have in the week to bump up our allowance for the weekend, which is when people generally consume a little bit more. So if we dropped 500 calories per day, then instead of having 2,000 calories, you've got 2,500 and a little bit spare. So you may say you want a little bit more on the Saturday. And that way we make sure that we stay in an overall calorie deficit. Obviously, Katina's is a bit more extreme as she's eating 7,000 calories on one day. So that would mean that her daily calories are probably just over 1,000 calories per day. But these principles will apply if you're just trying to lose a little bit of weight and you still want to enjoy your weekend. Love a bit of Lego. Now, given Katina's background in bodybuilding, she already has a strong foundation and knowledge about how her body works. Now, regular workouts will help keep her metabolism in check, meaning that by naturally having a higher muscle percentage, her body and anybody's body with a higher muscle percentage will have a higher requirement for calories. Now, 1 pound of muscle on the body requires more energy to function than 1 pound of fat. So this is why resistance training is so important when trying to lose weight and trying to increase your metabolism. These competitive eaters don't have a superpower other than the knowledge of thermodynamics. What is equally crucial for Katina and anybody that's trying to lose weight and manage their food is managing your stress and your rest, your sleep. And these elements are vital for Katina and vital for anybody trying to lose weight, particularly because fatigue can disrupt our hormonal balance. Now, what do I mean by this? When we are tired, levels of leptin, the hormone that signals whether we're satiated, that decreases. And then ghrelin, which is the hormone that triggers hunger, that increases. So we don't feel full and our body's telling us that we're more hungry. So lack of sleep doesn't really help in maintaining a low calorie diet. And also when we're stressed, we may look for food for comfort.
Come on, stomach.
Katina shows us that with the right balance of diet, exercise and understanding your total daily energy expenditure, it's possible to stay in shape whilst eating large quantities of food. And we can apply these principles if you're trying to lose weight. So I'm not saying become a competitive eater. What I'm saying is that if you are somebody that goes out of the weekend and indulges a little bit more, then we pull back a little bit in the week. And if you want to see how I dropped weight over 40 following these principles, then watch this video here. Oh yeah, and if Dick and Trina finish that mighty breakfast, then I'll show you the state of my car, which might cause people to hit that unsubscribe.
Whoa. All right. One of my favorite phrases of all time is I shall not flag nor fail, but my second favorite phrase is I shall not vomit on camera. So I'm gonna call it here.